Thank you for joining me today. My friend sent me a photo of these and then she dropped off 3 of these, which was a surprise because I was only expecting one. I'm to do them in this green velvet. There's really not much to note about these until I've taken them apart, so let's get on with it. I'm going to recycle as much as I can, so I'm going to pull this off like this all the way across, and then I'm just going to pull all of this up and I'll use the cover for a pattern. I really do prefer not to put too much stuff in the bin to go into landfills if I can help it. I've just got to be a little bit cautious as I do this. This is the cover and they have sewn it all together, which is unusual. I've not seen it done this way before, but that's okay. I'm going to try putting it together this way, although I'm using velvet so it might not be such a good job. It's got a plastic thread which should just tear apart. There we go. So I'm going to pull that part and then I'm going to pull this one apart. No, I can't pull that apart. So on these, I am going to take the piping out and I'm going to reuse that. But that's a case of just cutting down the threads. That would be a quick fix to get those apart. I want 3 pieces for the inside border. I'm going to actually cut it because I'm going to cut straight across. Let's measure down. If that's 2 inches to that one, which is here, 2 inches, and on down, that's 6.5 inches. So I need 3 pieces, 6.5 inches, 3 pieces of piping, which is 1 3/4 inches, and then, now this one's easier to measure because it goes all the way from the top down. Okay, so 3 at 18, 3 at 6.5, I'll make it 7, and 3 at 1 3/4. And I will be going the whole way across the width of the fabric because there's the selvage there and they've cut the selvage off there. My friend brought the fabric over like this, but I think I can find an inner tube for that to go on and make my life a lot easier. I'm measuring it down from where I want it, here to here. And I'm going to put a little clip there for the length. I'm going to unroll it slightly, then fold that along here. Make sure the selvages are even, like that, and that there's 3 points that are even. So I'm going to measure to the middle and measure to the selvage on the other side this length, and then I'll cut along the fold on the fabric. It's the easiest way to get a straight line. It just takes a little minute to line up. There's that. I'll measure to the center and then I'll just check on the end in a minute. The other thing I do is with a velvet is make sure that the 2 are against each other. They hold the fabric a lot better that way. And then I'm just going to cut like this all the way along that fold. For the piping, I just measured across to the width I needed and cut 3 lengths at that width. It made it a lot easier having the fabric on a roll because it's more even. I was pleased I had to spare one of those rollers. I'm folding it in half like this and I'm going to just cut. I don't want to have too much fabric when I'm using it as a pattern. That's the only trouble with these fabrics that have these. They just don't always want to play ball. I should have turned it the other way out. So there's my first part. I'm going to do the same with this, only I'll do it the proper way. Here's the shaping, which I'm more interested in. Pull that out. And again, I'm just going to cut up here. And I find sometimes that things weren't quite as square on as they should have been, because this looks twisted. Tell that by the way the fabric is going. Well, when I've cut it in half, it'll be exact, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I've folded the fabric in half and the pile is coming down like this. Pop this here with the center on the fold like that. If it's slightly twisted, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll go into shape. And then I'm just going to cut around like this so I can get rid of that. Fold the piping in, pop that in there, raw sides together, longest stitch, and sew. I cut it straight across so the pile actually comes down, and I've got green thread in the top and leftover thread underneath because the leftover thread won't show. I always find projects like this rather handy because they get rid of the shorter lengths of thread that I've got on a spool. I'm going to work my way across here. If that goes down, I want the piping to also go down. I'm going to halve that and attach it on here. I've lined this up, make sure that my raw edges are together, and then work my way around. Usually I cut the piping on a bias. I didn't have little pieces and I didn't want to waste too much fabric. As I come into that corner, just going to cut in at a 45-degree angle. Lift the foot and twist everything into place, keeping all of the raw edges together. Carry on sewing around the curve until I get to the other end. When you go around the curve, don't stretch anything, just try to keep it even. I'm just going to pull that round and into the curve, but not pull the raw edge open, just hold it. And as I come into the second side, I'm going to cut in here as well. Needle down, foot up, just like on the previous turn. Line everything up and sew to the end of the piping. This small piece, I'm also putting raw edges together and folding it in half. If both sides of your inside piece of fabric are identically shaped, just make sure that you're using stitch marks, because if not, you're going to have a horrible mismatch. And again, I'm just going to cut the wastage off the bottom here for the shaping. Now, even for this one, I did actually have the pile going down, so I'm going to be putting this on from underneath, and I'll put this on top. I'm going to match up that corner and that end. Well, it's meant to be even, so I'm going to even it up that end first and slide that under the foot. And then I'm going to sew that into place as well. Put the two corners there together and pull. And then they should go in nicely together. As I get to that corner, I'm going to allow the machine to just follow that around rather than to lift the foot up and everything. I'm going to put those two corners together. Work out where the centre of the fabric is, which is about there. Then pull that into position and sew on round to the centre. Pull the bottom back slightly so it's in line. Keep all those raw edges even. And then hold that corner together. Pull everything back out and sew to that corner. Again, as I come round, I'm going to pull everything into shape and allow the foot to go around the cording like that and to the end. Now I'm going to put the two ends together like that and pull it into shape. And then just sew to the end of the piping. I'm going to line up that curve with that, like that, and I'm just going to hold it there and staple it. Bring it to the end here, and the same again. Now on the other end, I'm going to bring that to that corner here, like that, just like I did on the other side. There we go, and secure it. Then towards the corner again. This curve here, I'm going to come down to the centre of the curve, and I'm going to secure all the way along. And then the other way. Although not up into the curves. I'm just going to leave that. Let's pop this down. Pull that out like that, and I'm going to pull this from the centre to the centre back here, so it's nice and firm and secure. I'm not going to pull it out to the side, I'm literally just going to pull it from here to the back so that I can secure it and not stretch it. And I'll work my way nearly all the way to the corner. And then I'll do the same to the other end as well. Here I'm going to pull it tight up towards the top there and secure it as well. Not all the way across, just most of the way across. And here again, just pull it to the back, not across to the sides. Now I'm going to straighten the side out here and pull it into the centre and secure it along the inside back, going up towards the back. Bring that around for now. I'm going to cut up into the top there. Pull this across like that and secure. I'm going to cut there. I'm just going to secure it into the top here. It doesn't have to look pretty, just functional. Bring this over the top like that, so it's along that front edge, and then bring this up and into place and put a couple more staples here. So I'm just going to catch this one here so it's neat, and then I'll cut it back. I've taken that around the side and pulled that back slightly, and all I'm going to do is cut that back and down into the corner, but not all the way because I do want to fold this over the top. So I'm going to cut that out, secure that down, and that can go into here like that and also be secured on the inside. This will come round. I'm going to push that up into the fabric there like that. Put a staple here along the edge to hold that. Pull that back slightly and cut up. This can come down and into place here and be secured up to the center. Then this can be wriggled around into here and then on up, hiding everything. Wasn't quite how they had it, but that's how I've ended up putting it in. And I'm going to secure it at the top here. Push that up, and then a couple just down here in the corner. Make sure that is on the bottom there and up. Pull this round and to the center and secure. Make your way to the top, cut into the top, pull that across and secure. Fold that down and secure and cut back. Just like I did on the other side, I'm just going to pull that over and secure across the top here. Fold that into the front there, put a nice 45 or at least an angle on here and secure. Take back your liner to the corner down there, that pulls around there and secure it, and cut all of that out and across, but not all the way because I'm going to cut that out in a minute. Pop that up like that and secure it on the inside here. Bring this around, just kind of slide that up into place. Fold the piping up and underneath, cut down a little bit more into that corner so it really opens up. I'm going to secure that down here. Put a staple here and then fold this into position along here so it looks nice and neat. I might have to cut some more out. You don't want it to be too bulky, so if I fold it that way and cut it down, there we go, and into place and secure. I'm just going to pull that back and center it like that, and I'm going to measure in 1 1/4 inches for the fold, and again at the other end 1 1/4, and then it's nice and even. And for the center I'm going to put the back tacking on. I'm going to line it up with the corner of the folded fabric here and then secure it all the way along. The same with this corner, I just want that to come close enough to the edge there so it looks neat, and finish securing. Bring that over the top like that. Cut this fabric to the end here and all the way down. I'm just going to cut this to the end here like that, straighten out and then all the way down with the outside edge of the valance. I'm going to fold that in so that it is level with the way this goes in, and I'm going to secure it across the top here. Fold that in like that so it's in line with the way this goes underneath here and secure. And pull that into the center and secure along the back. Not into the corners just yet. And what I'm going to do is cut all the way along here in a straightish line, and then from the center out I'm going to fold the fabric underneath and make a nice hem there and secure it. I'm going to try to keep it as even as I can. It doesn't matter if it wanders a little bit, nobody's going to notice. Work my way to the corner. All of this has to be folded in across the top on into there, and I'm going to secure it as I go from the top down, so as long as that looks neat, that's all I care about. I'm going to secure it into there and then secure it into this corner here, and that can be folded up so it looks tidy and continues that line across. It's not perfect, but it'll be fine, it's hidden. The last thing I'm going to do is reattach that along there across the join, hiding the staples, and that's all that needs to be done. I think this has actually turned out quite well. It's a little bit ripply there, but there's really not very much I can do about it. It's partly the fabric and partly the way it was done. I actually think that this way of sewing the piping on with the under and the top sides all in one piece and then putting it on is a pretty good idea. I personally have never done it like this, so I like to try other people's ideas because there's always more than one way of doing something. If you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and a few thumbs up would be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care, see you later. Ciao.